Sit down, Doctor. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
Cigar?
Oh, I believe not, thanks.
Is there something I can get you?
No, thank you. I'm quite all right the way I am. As a matter of fact, I just finished a rather large lunch.
Not celebrating, I hope.
Celebrating? I'm afraid I don't follow.
Excuse me, that was a little below the belt. I was referring to your envious position of being personally inside the story. You have that rare opportunity that comes all too seldom to any of us to scoop this as well as the other newspapers on that television broadcast of yours. By the time we go to press and hit the streets, the story will be almost a follow-up.
Well, I'm afraid I won't be broadcasting the story to anyone except you yourself. You see, I've decided to give up my radio and television work completely. I should never have gone into it in the first place. I realize now from things that have come to pass that a scientist is best suited to sit in front of a microscope, not a camera. At least one of my temperament is.
Can I use that in the story?
Yes, if you like.
You sound to me, Dr. Munson, as if you're completely closing out a chapter. As if everything that's happened has left you almost with a sense of shame, and I may add a certain degree of bitterness.
No, I'm not bitter. I feel certain all of that is far in the past. But shame, yes. That's a good description of men who allow themselves to be carried away with dreams of riches and create violence and death in the wake of what might have been, perhaps, tremendous discoveries of science.
Certainly you don't feel responsible for every mistake generated by others in your profession. If you did, you'd have yourself a full-time job and never get it done at that.
Let me put it this way. You have a certain code of ethics that you adhere to in running a newspaper. You don't print the story that you feel to be false or misleading, do you?
A newspaper serves the public. It's a different situation entirely.
You feel that science doesn't?
Ultimately, of course it does. But men like yourself are given the freedom of choice in their own motivations. There's where the difference is. All newspapers conform to the same basic premise, and there's no need for any personal analysis, even when you're hired out by some other publication. In the field of science, however, personal implications are likely to vary all the way from duality to complete opposites. I'd say there's a tremendous difference between, well, say yourself and your Dr. Janney. After all, he's not here to give me the story, but you are.
Well, I can't deal too harshly with Dr. Janney when I know that it was my own doing that got him involved in the first place.
I understand he volunteered to work with you.
Well, perhaps he did. Perhaps we all volunteered at the beginning. But I can tell you one thing. Most of the doctors at Cowan Research would have pulled out fast if they realized where the events would lead them.
Dr. Munson, suppose you start at the beginning. Now, take it easy and try to remember everything that led up to last night. I believe it's important for me to fully understand each detail in its proper perspective. Reporting is, as you've said yourself, a responsibility of complete accuracy.
I'm afraid it won't be difficult for me to remember everything that has taken place. Not at all. Well, it all began when conscientious work in hypnotic regression, that is, regressing an individual past their present life to previous incarnations, began to interest science, and it was studied by myself and the rest of the staff at Cowan Research Foundation. The foundation, as you know, was owned by my sister, who was the widow of Professor Cowan before she married Edmund Redding. Redding was made head of staff just before my sister was killed in a jet crash. Well, certain inconsistencies in my sister's will pointed out that both myself and Redding would be in complete control of the foundation in case of her death. Now, after a lengthy court battle, Redding won out, and I was expelled from the staff because of certain animosities that grew out of the proceedings. Well, I'm happy to say now that the appears that the Foundation will be reverted back into my own control. I was, of course, very grieved at being kept out of the work in the lab that I had been a part of for so many years. And I was also very concerned about my nephew, Timmy, who was now left with only his stepfather to take care of him. All of my experimental notes were left to the Foundation, and I felt somewhat cheated. And rather badly over losing my key subject to the hypnosis, Ann Taylor, who had the marvelous capacity to go into the trance state and recall her previous life with the ancient Mayan civilization. We found that she could almost recall the exact location inside a still existing pyramid of a possible huge fortune in ancient gold. Well, the phenomenal results that Redding had with Ann Taylor was the subject of much inquiry around the world, and pressure was put on the Cowan Research to make its findings known to the Science Association. Redding agreed to a symposium, at which time he would explain to everyone in detail and open the case before the entire association. This occurred in early September, on a Friday afternoon, just preceding the Labor Day weekend.
Gentlemen, Dr. Edmund Redding.
As Redding began to speak, it became immediately apparent that he had a change of heart and decided it was in his own interest to withhold the information everyone had come to hear. This was taken with great surprise by those who had traveled thousands of miles to attend the lecture. He boldly brought out the fact that even though he and his staff believed firmly in the open transfer of new information in the field which he himself had learned because it had been built upon the shoulders of all who had worked before him, his present results would have to remain within the confines of his own group. Little time had elapsed before Redding found himself challenged openly to reveal his reasons for holding back the findings and new understandings of the Mayan civilization they knew had been brought about through his months of work in hypnosis with Ann Taylor. He was asked on several occasions questions that were basic in nature, and these were answered to a degree that would inhibit the further points that would naturally follow. When he was literally pressured into a directly pointed corner of questioning, Redding simply refused to answer. In expressing his deep regret that most of those present would regard his decision in the matter as grossly a selfish one, he insisted it was justified. The fact remained that all findings were, at this point, inconclusive because of the lack of time he would need to verify factors that were inconsistent with the geographical standards of the pyramid in Yucatan. It became more and more clear to the men who spoke out their disbeliefs of everything Redding had to say that there must have developed within the group at Cowan a tremendous motivation for their secrecy. There was no doubting the fact that the motivation such as this was the age-old plague of man's lust for that ever-appearing treasure of gold. If this great fortune were to be uncovered by a group dedicated to science, and particularly members of the association, every research lab in existence should be allowed to share in an actual search. Redding maintained stubbornly that his interest was primarily that of proving or disproving the statements of Miss Taylor in her hypnotized state as a Mayan princess, and the reference to hidden chambers within the pyramids was not in effect necessarily pertaining to gold. The meeting was closed quietly, with Dr. Redding assuming an attitude of rather composed indifference to men who had for years supported his work. Thank you. Sit down, John. You must be tired after so much flying.
I hope I'll be able to say the trip was worthwhile. You know, I'm not usually an angry man, no matter what the circumstances. But I'll say this farce of Dr. Redding's today has been enough to upset my insides.
Care for a drink?
No, thank you. I had an ulcer flare-up the day before I left Hong Kong. And what with the long flight and food from stopover hotels, it was giving me trouble even before I heard Redding talk. Now it's really beginning to hurt.
You ought to let me check it out for you. I'm still practicing medicine, you know.
No, I didn't.
Oh, yes. I work every Monday and Friday at a local clinic. I think it's a good idea to keep up with the new developments at a level of actual operation.
You know, you haven't changed a bit since you actually carried me through medical school. That's a long time to maintain the same values. I admire it very much.
And you?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've accepted the fact that I'm only referred to as Dr. Janney, not Professor Janney, as I once hoped would be the case. I'm afraid I dropped personal ambition years ago and realized that this so-called Dr. Janney wasn't in essence a doctor at all in the same sense as you and some of my other friends. I came to the conclusion that my real talent lies in the field of promoting research, making it possible for others to get the job done.
Well, administrative work is just as important as slides under a microscope.
Well, perhaps. But what about science reporting?
That? Now, don't tell me that you caught my television stint in Hong Kong.
No, it was in England.
Well, I didn't realize we were spread out that much. Well, for the record, let me explain by saying that any work that I've been doing in front of a microphone is just merely a stopgap. Most certainly not a career. It was a job that was offered me, and I accepted. See, when I was severed from Cowan, I unfortunately found myself faced with the pressures of every day that affect all of us. The most consistent one being financial.
I figured as much. And that's precisely why I'm not going back to Hong Kong.
No, you're not?
Well, not for a while yet, anyway. Oh, you may call me a mercenary, an opportunist, perhaps. But the fact is that things have been most difficult for us at the lab in Hong Kong. We've been in financial trouble for some time. Now, it's my job to right the ship, and at the same time, map out a course that my researchers can follow. Now, I believe I can do that, and at the same time, map out a similar course for you.
Referring to the possibility of uncovering Mayan gold?
Oh, I believe it's a little bit more than a possibility. This girl, what's her name?
Oh, Ann Taylor.
Ah, yes, Taylor. Apparently she's the key to the real issue, not Cowan research. If you could only persuade her to break away from Redding somehow or other, but... Well, I suppose you've done everything in that direction.
Well, I wrote you a detailed history report on how I first found out about her ability to recall her past lives under just mild hypnosis. It was because of my excitement and encouragement that she consented to let me take her to see Redding, and also because she was very much aware of the fact, the same as all of us, that he holds the honor of being top man in his field. Her confidence has remained very much the same. Both herself and a small sister live right there on the premises. Now, I'm sure that nothing could persuade them to leave.
Ah. Then it seems a new channel of thinking is in order.
I've already effected it.
You have?
Mm-hmm.
Then tell me honestly if you could use some help.
That goes without saying. But how long could you stay away from your own base? There's absolutely no telling how much time would be involved. Most certainly no assurance of success.
Leave the gambles up to me, both on the amount of time and the chances of getting our hands on that gold. You realize, of course, that I would want to share in it.
Well, there wouldn't be any other reason for you to get involved. When you told me about your financial problems, my first thought was how I might be able to help you. Yes, I'd be glad to share 50-50, if there is anything to share.
If these stockpiles, or even one of them, could be located, it would represent such wealth that could actually affect the gold standard.
A leak of information is a definite possibility. But what they don't know is that the leak will not occur after they make the search of the pyramid as they fear, but that it has already begun to flow in a steady stream of information directly into my office.
You have someone on the staff?
Not exactly, but almost that.
Well, if this source is accurate, then you should know precisely the date they plan to leave for the pyramids.
I don't believe that I'll need any help to learn of that. It'll probably be carried by every newspaper. Redding knows that he won't be able to keep his activities a secret with regard to anything like a plane trip. And by the same token, he knows that nobody would follow him into the pyramid, because he'd be aware of their presence and simply hold off on the search until he was alone. No. My plan is to learn of the developments just as though I were actually going along with him.
In all justification, you should be.
Now, if I didn't truly believe that, I'd drop the entire thing.
I'm sure you would. As for myself, I can't claim to be drawn by anything quite so scrupulous. You remember I did mention to you that you might call me an opportunist.
Well, now, let's not think about it like that. You're one of the best qualified men I know when it comes to getting any certain thing done.
Well, you may become somewhat shocked at some of the methods that are sometimes necessary in a world of competition. I'm still well connected in this city with people who deal in business that's sometimes rather sticky. If it should turn out that I need their help on the project, I hope you won't become alarmed.
No, I won't interfere with your judgment.
Ah, good. That should simplify things a great deal. Now, getting back to cases. If your friend over at Cowan is not a member of the staff, who is he then?
He's my nephew, Timmy. A rather bright teenage boy who's been loyal to me ever since I had to leave. Timmy wasn't favored when my sister married Redding. And when she died, he was left not only without a mother, but with a stepfather that he had never really taken to. Redding, of course, never had the time to give the boy the companionship to overcome the usual stepson problem. I believe that I've been closer to Timmy for years than anyone else. He was positively shattered when I had to leave the group.
But you stayed in close contact.
Oh, not openly. No, if Redding realized the extent of our relationship, he'd cut Timmy off from the work as a security measure.
But how do you see him?
Timmy has a girlfriend. I reach him by calling her. She sets up the meetings. As a matter of fact, I'm due to set up an appointment right now. I'm rather eager to learn of Redding's feelings after what happened today, and what his next move might be. What I didn't know at the time was, the boy found he would be unable to get out of the house that night and keep the appointment. Timmy was instructed to go to his room and stay there. A mild protest was to no avail, as Timmy knew from past experience that his stepfather was a firm individual in a matter in which he held conviction. The men discussed every possible obstacle in the dangerous move Redding had suddenly decided upon. This move had been delayed several times previously out of fear of possible physical harm affecting Ann Taylor. In one mind, there was uncertainty and much doubt that this night should be the one in which would bring about the maximum depth of her Mayan existence. Redding told of his responsibility toward everyone involved and of his feeling that if he should allow himself to be influenced by outside opinions, or, for that matter, even members of the staff, then all their work could fail due to indecision, which in his mind was far worse than any research mistake. Redding himself was as fearful as any of the possible damage that they could bring about to the nervous centers of Ann Taylor. In the careful consideration that time was all important and knowing that each individual, including Ann Taylor herself, had prepared themselves, Redding reaffirmed his decision and announced that they would go ahead as planned.
Hi, sorry I'm so late. This is Lynn.
Hi.
Hi. I was beginning to get a little worried. Where's Timmy?
Oh, he won't be here. Boy, what a hassle.
Hassle?
Can I have a Coke or root beer or something?
Yeah, we had to walk all the way from Broadway.
A waitress. Bring us a couple of Cokes. Is something wrong with Timmy?
Oh, Timmy's all right.
It's okay. She knows about everything. She helps me all the time.
I see.
Things really got fouled up tonight.
Yeah. Dr. Munson, I hope we won't be getting ourselves into trouble with this messenger routine. If it weren't for Timmy, I wouldn't be running all over half the town, believe me.
Well, I'm sure that your efforts will be rewarded. I know that Timmy appreciates your help as much as I do. Now tell me what happened.
Well, I phoned tonight just after you called. And at first I couldn't even get him on the line. One of the doctors told me he'd gone to bed. Well, I know Tim, and he's not about to go to sleep anywhere near that early. So I insisted on talking to him. And finally I heard his voice on one of the extensions. He gave me the surf jingle.
The what?
The surf jingle. It's a rhyme all the kids use.
Sure, and when Timmy gives it to me, it means to dummy up and not say anything. You know, like a password.
A what? What?
Well, besides that, I knew someone was listening in on the other line. So I just made with some small talk and then hung up. After that, we had to take a bus all the way over there, because I knew Timmy'd be waiting for us at the downstairs window.
Oh, well, then you did speak to him.
Yeah, we did.
I tried to call you, but you'd already left. At least I didn't get any answer at your place.
Well, when you got there, what did he have to say?
Calamity. Dr. Redding told Timmy to go to his room, and that he couldn't under any circumstances leave the house. It seems sort of funny. So Timmy listened at the door and found out that tonight they're all going downstairs to the lab to find out once and for all if their information is for real. Dr. Redding said something about evidence of location or something like that. Anyway, if the experiment goes okay, they'll be leaving right away for the pyramids?
Pressure normal. Pulse steady with slight increase. Probably nothing more than the anticipation factor. Now remember, we won't let you go any deeper than you did last night.
I understand.
Miss Taylor, can you speak to us? Miss Taylor, do you hear me? Do you hear me?
I can hear you. I can see, as before, the ancient land. I see the mountains which surround a city of stone. Everything is of stone. I am part of the past and of the city in which I place myself in obedience to the ceremony of devotion and to the offering of hope before the shrine. I see a great chieftain who approaches in elegant splendor and is frightening, though his powerful form is surpassed by a known supreme wisdom. I am asked to never enter the pyramid, and yet I find myself unable to comply with my chieftain's request. I am compelled again and again to go into the pyramid, as if some great secret was to be in revelation before my eyes.
She's all right.
Good evening. This is Douglas Bank with all the news from across the nation. Dr. Edmund Redding, who heads the staff at Cowan Research Foundation in Pasadena, has departed for Yucatan for what he has described as an objective, first-hand search of the Great Pyramid there. Dr. Redding, a naturalist, has been successful in bringing to light some startling facts in the puzzles of man's early civilization. It isn't known at this reporting as to just what Dr. Redding is hopeful to find in the pyramid, which is something of a tourist attraction, and has been searched, in its upper levels at least, many times previously. Accompanying Dr. Redding in the trip to Yucatan are members of the staff of Cowan Research Foundation, Dr. Redding's son, and Miss Ann Taylor of Los Angeles. If you're wondering where the pyramid is located, it lies at the western tip of the North Yucatan border.
recognize it?
Yeah.
Timmy, you shouldn't have left the car.
Oh, he'll be all right. I'll stay close to him. As the memory of Ann Taylor had functioned to the degree of pointing to the areas unknown to her present generation, the discovery of that which had filled the minds of everyone had become a reality. The metal used by the ancient people was indeed gold of the highest quality. Somewhere inside that pyramid lay a fortune as suspected, and the area itself was close at hand. A cold wave of something evil brought fear to the heart of Ann Taylor, who for the first time felt herself wrong in searching the pyramid. Her protests were based upon intuitive feeling that in some way a dreadful force of dark evil will exert itself upon all those present for entering into the catacombs and chambers that were forbidden to all but the Mayans themselves. It was found that a mathematical system of distance separated each opening from the other, and the approximate equation of squares would lead them from one chamber to a new one. Redding became more and more intent in his quest to dive deeper into the mysterious catacombs that he now firmly felt not only existed, but would ultimately turn up more than their wildest expectations. Even during the heat of his excitement, Redding was at all times alert to the possibility of their being followed by someone at the levels above them, and thought it best that one of the party take spot checks of both the outside and the areas covered to the present point.
As you may recall, we earlier in the week reported the details, as we knew them, of naturalist Edmund Redding's departure for Yucatan and of his quest for certain scientific data only yesterday morning, and has already touched off a sweeping fire of controversy in circles of anthropology and the scientific world in general. Our science editor, Dr. Frederick Munson, has the story.
From a telephone conversation I had with a colleague of mine, Dr. Eric Strummond of the Cowan Research Foundation, I learned of the incredible discoveries of the group who have now returned from Yucatan. The expedition, while proving to be one of the most startling in the history of anthropology, due to what was uncovered in the pyramid, was marred by the untimely death of Dr. Redding. An embalmed creature whose age has been estimated at something near 2,000 years at the minimum had risen from somewhere in the darkness of the pyramid to crush the body of Dr. Redding. Other members of the expedition were able to subdue the creature through the aid of gases that were brought along to test mineral contents, but unfortunately not in time to save the life of the expedition leader. The mummy, as it has been referred to up to this reporting, has been tied securely with ropes and transported to Pasadena, where it will be observed under laboratory conditions by members of the Cowan Research Foundation. Funeral services for Dr. Redding have been arranged for early next week.
Hello, Dr. Janney. Oh, hello, Timmy. No, he's doing his broadcast. I was just listening to it. I expect to hear from him shortly, though. Timmy, I'm working with your uncle now. It's all right to talk to me. We did tell you about it. Good. What? Why in heaven's name should the police be interested? I see. Well, look, Timmy, I'm glad you called. Now, don't get panicky about this thing. We'll figure something out. I'll tell him as soon as he comes in. Now, you stay in touch. Right, Timmy.
Detective Hammond, Police Department. I'd like a word with the head of staff.
I'm sorry, the doctors aren't talking to anyone.
Just a minute, sir. We have to talk to the
I'm
doctor.
sorry, they're not talking to anyone.
So how'd it go?
Oh, all right. Weren't you listening?
Yes, I heard the broadcast. I met the hullabaloo. You must have been swamped with inquiries.
Yeah, from all the wrong people. Is there any coffee going? I sure could use some.
I've learned to work your kitchen. It's good and hot. I'll get it. You take a load off your feet.
Thanks. It's really something out there. Complete chaos.
Have you been able to find out anything from Cowan?
No, hardly more than the news people. It's rather surprised that they even accepted my call. I understand that some of the reporters had a difficult time getting through this morning. Well, after they talked with me, I suppose they thought it best to release the story to everyone. That was around noon. Now they're not even answering the phone.
They're going to have to, whether they like it or not.
Well, I wouldn't be too sure about that. I had an idea that they're trying to decide upon a temporary head. This reminds me. I have to call my attorney. I missed him 3 times already. If he can get things rolling along fast enough, I might be able to take charge before anything is resolved by the staff.
You?
Yes, certainly. Redding's dead, isn't he? Yes. Hello. Is this? Yes. This is Dr. Munson. Is Mr. Bryan in yet? Yes. Yes, I will. Yes. Yes. Hello, Jim. I've been trying to get you since 9 o'clock this morning. I talked with your assistant around 10, but he couldn't tell me anything. Oh, yes. Yes, well, you know how difficult and how crucial the time element is. I want to take over at Cowan right away before they move that mummy off somewhere. Yes. Yes, I know it's difficult. Well, if you're positive that's all that you can do, well, I guess I'll have to accept it. Yes, I will. Thanks.
Well?
It'll take time to process the lab papers. Then we may have to go back to court.
The minute they're served with papers, that's the perfect tip-off for them to pack up the mummy and cart him off any place they like.
I had to see him with my own eyes. Work with him. Do you realize that some type of life has been sustained in that creature for over 2,000 years? Think of what it would mean if we could learn the processes that have caused such phenomena.
I am thinking about it. Also about the blunders that could be made over at Cowan. It's very possible that pressure from the police department could make them so nervous they might just give up. I've known Eric and the others for a long time, the same as you. And I tell you, there's no strength there. No competitive spirit.
In what way do you contemplate the police getting involved?
They are involved. I had a phone call from the boy a short time ago.
Police? For what reason?
Well, Timmy told me that Redding's family have been back and forth to the lab a dozen times, asking questions about just how he was killed. It seems they don't believe that things happened just exactly the way Eric told everyone. It's obvious they've called in the police to investigate.
Well, I suppose they'll be questioning everyone connected with Cowan.
Well, if they come here, use all your diplomatic charm. I want them in and out of here as quickly as possible.
This whole thing is getting to be more than I anticipated. Why can't things be done the right way, the easy way?
Now, let's not get pessimistic. There's no need for it.
No, of course not.
Now, the way I see it, the most important thing we can do is get our hands on that mummy. With him, we might be able to establish ourselves into the best position of all. The gold is something that'll take care of itself.
Now, what chance do you think we have to do that?
A very good one. As a matter of fact, I think you're in for a few surprises. Pleasant ones.
I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, in the first place, I'd like to point out that in my mind, that mummy rightfully belongs to you. Now, you remember that old laboratory I used to have over in Clinton Street?
Yes?
Well, I went over there. It's been vacant ever since I left it 2 years ago. Everything is still intact, including all the equipment. It's a little dusty, perhaps, but with some effort, it could be made to work as well as it ever did.
You've opened it up.
In secrecy, of course.
Secrecy? I'm afraid I don't understand.
You will, Doctor. You will.
Hello.
This is Stetson. Calling for Dr. Janney. He has a little job you can do for us.
Yeah? Well, listen, you better tell him that my price is going up a little. Well, you know, the cost of living and all that.
You'll be paid off good if you do everything right.
Okay, that sounds good. Who's the guy, and when do you want it done?
Now, this is a little different. He wants you to steal a mummy from the Cowan Research Foundation and bring it on over to the lab.
I'm not sure I heard you right. Steal a what?
You read the publicity in the papers. A mummy. It's in the very back building of the Cowan Research Foundation. Hello?
Yeah, I got it. I think I heard you right the first time.
We're having coffee at the Star Cafe, 10th Street. Come on over and I'll give you more details.
Yeah, sure.
I'll be glad to cooperate. The police are most certainly entitled to any information that will help. I've always felt that way.
Thank you.
I feel it's a duty of every citizen.
I'm glad to hear that, Dr. Munson. I must say, though, that you're a rare breed. Having a door shut in one's face is more or less a policeman's hazard.
Well, I work independently here. It has its disadvantages, but also the advantage of not being tied down in anything of a political nature. Nor the obligations to a board of directors, as is the case of Cowan Research. Oh, I could have gone to work for them a long time ago, but I'd rather have it this way, be my own boss.
How familiar are you with the staff over at Cowan, Doctor?
Oh, well, I've known them all for 15 years, almost intimately. And I may add that there's never been an instance of foul play during that period or any other time. Men of science, you know, are dedicated to their work. That above everything.
I've heard. Doctor, I'd like you to tell us everything you know about Dr. Redding, about his work. When did it begin? And incidentally, anyone you might know who would be interested in it.
Well, in answer to that, I can only say that the work started, seriously that is, about 7 or 8 years ago. Great strides were made in the field by Stanton, Dubois, and many others around the world. A great deal of evidence was brought forth to spur many of us into our own deep interest in the field. Dr. Redding was one of the few who dropped everything else to plunge into regression on a full-time basis. He, like the rest of us, at first found it difficult to find legitimate subjects, those who could really go deep.
People like Ann Taylor.
Exactly. Which reminds me, there's a younger sister of 6, an asthmatic. I'll have to do something for that child.
What is it that makes the difference in the individual? Why Ann Taylor?
Now you're beginning to sound like a detective. Oh, no offense, of course. But a short, precise answer I cannot give you. We simply do not know.
Doctor, I'm very interested in what I asked you about other people, connected with Dr. Redding's work.
Well, I can only tell you that the interest spread in every direction, every country. If you're attempting to pinpoint individuals, you have your work cut out for you. The number would run into the thousands.
Makes a good headline. Could sell some papers. Rouse a whole lot of interest. Yes, a story like this spread across the front page could increase our circulation temporarily anyway by 30, 40, maybe 50,000 copies. But I wish you'd tell me something, Doctor, because I'd truly like to know. Just what is your game?
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Perhaps it's me you don't understand. Perhaps your understanding is based upon an editor's need for a story to sell morning editions, and that's the only important thing for him. Is that your understanding of me, Doctor?
I don't know what you're driving at unless...
Unless I smell something rotten in Jamaica.
If you think I've come to you with inaccurate facts, you're greatly mistaken. Everything is the truth, just the way it happened.
It's a shame that these facts can't be backed up by anyone except you. The men at Cowan Research won't talk to anyone, and your Dr. Janney has left the country. And the most curious fact of all remains that every individual that actually saw this mummy of yours is no longer alive. You know, it cost us almost $200 in makeup to see a proof like this. Harry, kill the mummy story. Just carry a 2-column bit on the auto accident. Everyone killed. The driver and Taylor and one more unidentified. Now, replace the headline with something on the mine disaster. Now, get started. We've lost a lot of time. So, there you are, Doctor. Fact remains fact. And fantasy, well, that's something we don't write about. You know, a mistake is something we can correct in time, even though in some cases we're tempted not to. Now, you've given up your broadcasting, so no decision had to be made. That's quite convenient, I'd say, under the circumstances.
I tell you, it's the truth. Every word of it.
If it is, then I'll be the loser. I've been there before. You know, the $200 I mentioned to make up your headline, it's actually not so bad as all that. In saving face, we also gain a few dollars. You see, the lead is melted down so we can use it for type again. Seems like everything we use today has some sort of salvage value. Even the waste paper is hammered into pulp and put through the presses again to come out with another story. Perhaps not a startling one, Doctor, but a reasonably documented story.
What is it? Hey, why, it's Buttercup. Popcorn, add some butter to hot popcorn. Mix it up, wrap it up, Buttercup is born.
It's delicious.
So nutritious.
It's a taste delight.
It's so munchy,
crisp and crunchy.
You'll enjoy each bite. Eat butter-drenched Buttercup, popcorn at its best.
Served in a king-size cup.
It beats all the rest.
The sea, as old as the world itself. It extends over 3/4 of the surface of the globe. The sea, the birthplace of life, the great storehouse of minerals, the prison of haunting mysteries. The ocean is a dangerous jungle. Each creature preys relentlessly upon another. Each animal is equipped with an effective weapon: speed, camouflage, knife-like teeth, poison. Since time began, the ocean has withheld its secrets. Man has ventured merely to its threshold. Oceanographers have, with precise instruments, presented us with a framework of facts. Around these facts, our imaginations reconstruct the eerie, forbidding atmosphere of the deep. Scientists, working with sonic equipment, discovered a mysterious layer which returned an answer to sound waves. This layer measured over 300 miles and lay 1,500 feet below the surface. It was soon noted that the phantom layer rose to the surface at night and descended to the deep water in the daytime. It is composed of living creatures capable of locomotion that are apparently strongly repelled by sunlight. Some oceanographers believe the layer to be made up of plankton. Others suggest that it is a gigantic concentration of fish. The most startling theory about the phantom layer is that it is composed of millions of squid. This theory is supported by the fact that squid are tremendously abundant. As the sun's rays become weak and soon turn into complete darkness, the fish are all black, brown, or silver. In the blackness of the deep sea, the strange phenomenon of luminescence is found. Half the fish that inhabit the darkened waters are able to turn their luminous torches on or off at will. Lower forms of life are known to have this luminous ability as well. Some fish have rows of lights. Perhaps these are signals, signs of recognition. The deep sea squid ejects a fluid which becomes luminous, a counterpart to the ink ejected by his cousin who lives in shallow water. The eyes of many creatures who live in the black world are enlarged and protruding, making the most of the intermittent lights which may reach them. On the other hand, some animals have no eyes at all. They have developed and perfected antennae and feelers. Their entire world is known to them through the sense of touch. Several years ago, a fish was caught alive off the southeast tip of Africa. It was an amazing sight. This animal was supposed to have been dead for at least 60 million years. After this discovery, they found the frill shark. He lived 25 to 30 million years ago. Perhaps there are other such anachronisms to be found in this region about which we know so little, other links with the past. Perhaps we can find the answers to many of these questions. We are now prepared to invade this black wilderness. I hope you enjoyed the pictures. We had a great time filming them. As most of you know, tomorrow marks the completion of Mr. Matheny's diving bell. I hope the next film we make will give us a lot more information.
You really think you'll find it much different at greater depths?
Occasionally, a new species may rise briefly to about 100 feet from the surface and be seen by a diver. They return quickly, however, to, about 600 feet. We intend to see what may exist thousands of feet below that.
Matheny, I've had a lot of admiration for the things you've been doing in shipbuilding and navigation equipment. Oh, but this diving bell of yours is sheer nonsense. It's a waste of money.
I'm sorry you don't share our enthusiasm.
Even if it does work, which is doubtful, does that justify the cost involved? Curiosity is one thing, but you spent over $70,000 on a toy.
Have you ever heard of Millard Wyman?
Of course, I've read his books, and I believe he's your brother.
He believes the sea could hold a food supply vast enough to feed the entire world.
You built this bell for him?
I'm afraid Mr. Wyman needs no help from us. He had his practically completed at the time we began.
Then what's the sense of another?
No frontier was ever explored by just one expedition. Our first dive will be in the Pacific. Then we'll try the Gulf. Right now, Wyman is in the Caribbean. He's making his first attempt with his bell somewhere along the southeastern Keys.
Good. Better take a rest while I double-check the bell.
I'll be ready as soon as I get some clothes.
Craig says our location is perfect. Looks like a big moment's finally here.
Well, Laurie and I are all set. How about Miss Marshall?
Oh, yes, I better...
No, never mind. I'll get him for you.
Try to relax, Wyman. You should be elated, not worried.
I guess I'm too anxious. Look at me and think I was the one who's going down there.
What's going on?
Wait a minute. We shouldn't release anything until I come back up here with the pictures. What do you think I'm going down in that contraption for? Look, we'll have an absolute exclusive on this. Every wire service will get the depth information, but we'll be the only ones with the actual pictures. Now, doesn't that make much better sense?
Come on, lady reporter. The time has come for your promotion. Or should I say demotion?
Well, whatever it is, Skipper, you won't lose me on this show.
I'll go on back to shore and call the office.
Oh, this will make a good picture. Hold it. Thank you. Well, goodbye, fellas.
Good luck, Dale. Good luck, Dale.
Thank you.
So long, Dale. I know you're disappointed that Tom couldn't make it, but I just couldn't get him to come out. He asked me to give you this.
Well, I hope he knows what he's doing. Because I do.
There, this is good order. I suppose I shouldn't make a fool of myself telling you what this day means to me. Well, you people are taking my place in a way. I feel as if you've been working with me since the beginning.
We're very grateful to be able to have a part in your work.
You'll be going deeper than any man has ever attempted before. I wish I could go along with you.
I know how you feel, Mr. Wyman. But I'll be talking to you every inch of the way.
I know, Craig, but it's not quite the same thing. Well, good luck, Craig.
Thank you.
Paul. Mr. Wyman. You girls will let me down now. You take care of these fellows if they get scared. Stand by the dropper. Craig, you ready?
Ready whenever you are.
Air pressure okay?
Fine.
Everything's 100%.
Here we go. All right. Release!
Tilt at 2 degrees. Release 1 pellet from the left ballast tube. Another one. That's got it.
You just passed 1,000 feet, Craig. How's it going?
Everything's fine. Just please 2 fellas get a balance.
Now. Is it getting dark?
No, not yet.
Can't be any sun penetrating now. You're almost 1,700.
That's funny. Only half the lights are working.
Checked every cable, no brakes.
Craig, are you okay?
I don't know. The lights.
Craig, what happened?
I think something's buckling.
Craig, what's buckling, Craig?
The cable slipped. We're hanging over to one side. I think we're gonna...
Craig! Craig! Can you hear me? Craig!
Excuse me.
Hello? Yes,
he is. Just a moment. Mr. Matheny? Long distance.
Hello. Oh, hello, Hank. How's everything? What?
One of my reporters radioed from the ship. He'll interview Wyman before the launch gets out there.
Can't believe it. The conditions were ideal. I see. Yes, of course I do. You can reach me here. I'll be in all day. Thanks for calling, Hank. Your brother's attempt was a complete failure. The bell broke loose at 1,700 feet.
Can we contact the ship?
I'm afraid we'll have to sit tight until Hank's men get into Key West. He promised to call us as soon as he hears from them.
Mr. Wyman, sorry to barge in on you this way. We'll be leaving the ship soon. I wonder if you'd give me some information.
You saw everything. What can I add to it?
Would you mind telling me something about the occupants? I know Dale Marshall, but not much about the other three.
The other three, as you put it, were very brave people. Overconfident as I was.
Well, had they been working with you long?
Laurie and Paul were students of mine at the Institute of Oceanography. Craig joined us a bit later on, mainly, I suppose, because of Laurie's devotion.
Well, did they have any part in actually designing the bell?
No, I'm afraid not. I am the only one who's responsible for that.
Well, what do you believe went wrong today?
I don't know. If I did, it wouldn't help matters.
Well, the bell obviously had a weakness. You must have some idea where it was.
Everything is planned and researched. I don't know the answer.
The public will take a pretty dim view of your research.
I suppose so. But a penny to me doesn't matter now.
Craig. Breathe deeply. Give some to Miss Marshall.
Craig, did we?
Yeah. I don't know how deep we are. You feel all right?
I think so.
Marshall, stop it! Hold yourself! How much time do you think we have? Oxygen tank only holds 100 cubic feet. Well, at least the shutoff valves worked. We could have been flooded when the cable broke. Although I don't know what good it is to prolong the inevitable. Laurie worked with Wyman for 3 years to build this. Dale Marshall was going to get a big story. You were going to see new sea creatures for the first time. Pretty noble ambitions to be blown up by one engineering mistake. Oh, well, I probably wouldn't have seen any new... Craig. We're not on the bottom. There's light out here. We must be on some kind of a shelf not too far below the surface. I don't see how that's possible, because we've dropped out of the penetration of light. Well, how could we have moved upward? I don't know. At this point, I couldn't care less.
Will we be able to get out of this thing?
Look, at this level, the pressure shouldn't bother us. We should be miles into darkness, but yet we're not. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's check out of here. Probably be a long old haul to get to the surface, so just remember, try not to get panicky. Well, you better go first. Give the girls somebody to follow. Right.
Then why would they attempt to leave the bell?
Not knowing how deep they went, I suppose they figured it was worth a try.
Isn't there something we can do? Some way that...
No, they'll never make it to the surface even without the pressure. I'm afraid they were crushed the moment they left the bell. What we see is their bodies floating upward with the currents.
Calling ships in vicinity of longitude 23, latitude 75. Please stand by to search the area. Repeating, ships in vicinity of Marlin 8, please stand by to assist.
JCR 774. We're about a quarter of a mile north by east of original location. I have a diver descending. He'll cover 1,000 yards moving south by west. I'll advise of any results.
Got it. Over and out.
How long do you think it'll take for the bodies to reach the surface? It's been quite some time since we lost them on the sonar.
They may not come up this far at all. Prepare to move out if we don't spot them in about 5 hours.
I know it's none of my business, but didn't you have your own money tied up in that bell? I mean, it was your own project with no affiliation.
None of the universities had any confidence in it. Only myself and those down there.
I understand there's another bell ready, built by an outfit in California.
My younger brother designed it. They'll be interested in finding out where mine failed. I suppose we'll never know the answer to that.
Fantastic. There must be miles upon miles of these tunnels. Yeah. So many of them we could easily get lost. We better head back. Yeah.
So long, we're getting worried.
Our lives were reprieved today, Laurie. I don't think we should get scared now.
I found the answer to one thing. These rocks are loaded with phosphorus. That's how the caverns are illuminated.
But did you find anything else? A way out?
We might be here a long time before we find a way out.
A long time.
You see, we're a good many miles beneath the surface. The bell went down all right, but it must have rolled into one of these openings. It's going to be a long climb up, even if we do find a way.
What do you mean, if? We'll have to find a way.
Well, it'll be treacherous going, but we'll find a way out in time. First thing to do is to keep our heads and put something in our stomachs. Saw plenty of fish down there, and we can fashion some spears from the rods in the bell.
You're going back to the bell?
Well, I don't think we'd get very far without our shoes and a few other things. Look, as long as I'm going to be a caveman, I want to be a comfortable one. Come on, let's go.
Work fast. The tank's nearly empty.
Still ahead. Here. Anything else we can take? This compass will help us more than everything else put together. Let's go. Right.
Any too soon. There's a storm following right now. Wait. Come in. Excuse me, sir, but I have something I believe is important.
Yes? Well, I called to you and Mr. Wyman while I was watching the sonar, but...
Well, apparently you didn't hear me, and I wanted to keep my eyes on the screen.
Saw the bodies again?
Well, sir, I don't know exactly what I saw, but I'm sure they weren't dead bodies. I saw two of the same masses move practically as they did before.
How do you know they're the same?
Well, the characteristics were identical, and they weren't floating. I'm positive they were moving under their own power.
How long did you have them? Several minutes, sir. They moved along together, then one suddenly changed direction. I lost them at exactly the same spot as before.
You probably saw some large fish that were curious about the bell. Begging your pardon, sir, but I've seen plenty of fish on that screen. I know this reading was of something else.
You said they changed direction. Currents are pretty strong at that depth.
But only one veered off. The other continued straight up. Well, whatever the objects were, it's a cinch the bodies aren't going to float to the top, and we've wasted enough time as it is. Sir, it's possible that... That'll be all, Wilson. Return to the radio room. I have problems enough with the storm to contend with. Yes.
You know, if we had all the conveniences of a kitchen, I'd still prefer barbecue, just like this.
When we leave here, what do we eat then?
Well, these caverns have water pools everywhere. Probably fish in all of them. I also saw some planktonic shrimp back around the rocks.
Must really be late. Anyone as tired as I am?
You better get some sleep, Laurie. You too, Dale. We've been through a lot today, and we'll probably do a lot of walking tomorrow.
Dale and I found the crevice. It's fairly dark inside. At least it will seem like nighttime.
Don't worry about getting cold in there. I'll bet the temperature here doesn't vary 2 degrees.
You make it sound like Miami Beach.
Come on. It's not the ocean floor either.
Good night.
Good night.
Faith.
All right.
Paul.
Good night. Take all this diving gear along with us? It's too heavy. Leave it right here. What do you think our chances are? What do you really think? You sound as though I haven't been leveling with Dale and Laurie. I know you, Craig. You've got an uncanny ability to hide what you feel. Paul, I've been diving for quite a few years. but the deepest I ever went was about 200 feet. Frankly, I haven't any more idea about where we are now than you do.
Well, haven't you ever heard of these underground caverns?
I read some theories about the Earth being honeycombed with caverns containing air pockets.
Then the air we're breathing might not be coming from the surface.
Possibly not, if you want to believe theories.
How far down do you think we are?
No idea. Might find out something about the mineral deposits along the way.
Well, I guess only time will tell. I'm going to get some sleep. You know, I'll probably dream about breaking an altitude record in a helium balloon.
Progress.
Can we drink it?
No salt content. Probably good as any well water.
It's better.
Can we afford a time out here?
Sure we can, Laurie. We'll rest until you're ready.
Before you get anything else to read.
When I need your advice, I'll ask for it.
Sorry. I didn't realize.
You don't realize a lot of things. You probably never will.
I didn't mean to intrude, Dale. It was just a friendly joke.
Friendly? Well, you just listen to me, Miss Innocent. There's nothing friendly between two females. There never was and there never will be.
Sorry you feel that way. I was hoping we could help one another.
You don't need any help. Neither do I. Not as long as we have two men around us. There's no opening. We're trapped.
Take it easy, Dale. We'll find one.
She's right. The only openings are small cracks. We couldn't possibly get through them.
We'll have to go back.
No, we shouldn't lose our direction. There's a water pool to the left, about 50 yards back. We'll have to try going through it.
And if that doesn't lead to another cavern?
Then we'll have to drop back to the fork and try another course. That'll mean losing a lot of time. Well, let's try it. Yeah, let's go. Brings back plenty of shrimp. Feel like I could eat about 3 dozen of them.
Said there wouldn't be any shrimp around in the clear water. He's looking for some sort of crawfish.
Just so there are plenty of them.
So what's the difference? They both taste terrible.
I'm going to hunt up some roots for the fire. Come on. What's up? Take a look at that. So we're not the first ones to be here. You know, it's not exactly my line, but I'd say he's been dead about 10 or 12 years.
It's horrible. He probably kept walking until he dropped.
Look, this is the best indication we've had yet. This man could have come down here directly from the surface.
And I suppose he liked it so well he decided to stay here and die.
Perhaps he just lost his way.
Is that any better? Craig! What on earth?
So he's a weirdo. Who else would come down here?
You're so right, Skipper. Listen, I don't care who leads us out.
Hello! Hello up there! Hello! I guess he can't hear us. Come on.
Glad to see you. What do you want here?
Well, we don't want anything, except to get out. We were underwater in a diving bell. The cable snapped, dropping us to the bottom. We left the bell and found our way in here. You see, we were attempting to break a depth record. Oh, I'm Paul Whitmore. This is Craig Randall, Laurie Talbot, and Dale Marshall.
I've been here 14 years.
14 years?
I don't think we want to stay quite that long. Would you mind leading us out?
There is no way out.
But how did you get here? And that fellow back there?
He was killed long time ago. I was more fortunate.
But how did you get here?
The same as you.
And you haven't found a way out in all this time?
There is no way.
This is air we're breathing. It wouldn't be here if there weren't an opening to the surface.
The air comes from a volcano about 2 miles from here.
Are you sure of that?
I'll show it to you. Would you like to visit my home?
Well, I don't know.
It isn't far. I'll take you there.
certainly made this place comfortable enough.
I carried stones here to make pots and flint for fire. Sometimes I traveled to the salt water to bring back seaweed.
Hey, look at the size of this claw. There's no known species this large.
I use it to spear fish. But you have fine weapons. With them we can hunt much better.
Hey, are you positive there's no opening to the top? Even a small one we could hack out with some kind of tools?
I'll take you to the volcano so you can see for yourself. And then you will know as I do.
How soon can we start?
We must first have food. I have enough for all of us.
Do you think he really knows?
I don't think he knows up from down. But we'll have to go to find out if there is a volcano.
Well, there's no sense in all of us knowing. You and Laurie should take a breather.
You want us to stay here for a reason?
Well, we'll probably be taken through some pretty rough places, no telling how dangerous. I'd feel better if you stayed.
You all set, Craig?
Yeah. The old man's been up there waiting for over an hour.
Don't you think he's a little eager to show us that volcano?
That's why I want the girls to stay down here.
Never did buy that story about that ship sinking 14 years ago. What do you think he's got up his sleeve?
Well, maybe nothing. But I still think it'd be a good idea if you'd wait down here with Dale and Laurie.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Daddy-o. I'm no babysitter. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll trade places with you.
Okay, you win. We'll both go. I think the girls will be all right as long as we stay with him.
Yeah. Besides, they're planning a swimming party, and we weren't invited.
Too bad we can't get a suntan.
I can do without it. The sun always gives me a bad time. I got burned once at the beach and... Oh, well, it's not important now.
We've been here quite a long time. They should be getting back soon.
Are you afraid they'll bring bad news?
I'm afraid I am.
I keep telling myself that old man couldn't possibly be right. I can't make myself believe it.
We'll know soon enough, one way or the other.
You know, I was afraid until I realized that if we do spend the rest of our lives here, we can at least start a new one. Anything that happened in the past can't bother us here.
Don't make me think about it. And let's not start painting any dark pictures before we know. They're here. You're so quiet. Does that mean that...
That volcano's there, all right. Spouting air by the ton.
Then he was right. Well, then...
Laurie!
Oh.
Laurie, look, it won't be so bad. We took it hard, too, at first. Walking down there and all that, but... Look, I know it's not going to be so terrible. After all, we've gotten... Laurie, listen to me. Please, look. I know how you feel, as though you have nothing to look forward to, but I felt the same way until I realized how really fortunate I am. That is, if you... What I'm trying to say is that, Laurie, I've been in love with you for a long time. I planned to tell you before now. I never seemed to be able to.
Oh, I wish you had. I wanted to hear you say you love me.
Oh, Laurie, as long as I have you, my life's complete. Anything beyond that's unimportant.
And reports indicate the strike will be settled this week. On the local scene, Marine Research of California has abandoned the scheduled launching of an experimental diving bell. J.R. Matheny, president of Marine Research, is rumored to have lost some $90,000 constructing the bell during the past 18 months. And now for a look at the weather. Early morning fog will cover the harbor area with little change in temperature.
Yes, of course. Mr. Wyman to see you.
Send him in.
It's the first door. Go right in, please.
Thank you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Very pleased to meet you, sir.
Sit down. You certainly got out here quickly.
I came directly from the airport.
Your telegram sounded quite urgent. Suppose you elaborate for me.
Well, I understand you're giving up your plans to try your bell.
We've given it a lot of consideration. The project has been costly, and we've devoted the entire lab to the bell's development. I'm afraid the wisest thing we can do at this time is just give up the project.
Yes, of course, because of the results of mine.
Wyman, if it weren't for your pioneering in research, this bell wouldn't have even been built. When your brother came to work for me, I knew where his ideas were coming from.
You mean your bell is similar to mine?
As you can see, the designs are identical.
But the hatch and cables, are they the same?
Why, yes. Why?
Mr. Matheny, I'd like to ask you for a personal favor.
A favor?
You have no confidence in your bell because it was patterned after mine, and rightly so. But if I could take the responsibility off your shoulders...
What do you think he done?
I can make the dive myself, in the same location as before.
I don't understand. How can you, of all people, consider doing this when you know that the bell is obvious?
I believe it can be done. I've always believed it. If I can't at least turn my failure into a success, I'll be doing a grave injustice to 4 gallant people.
What makes you think that the results would be any different this time?
Since I returned from the Caribbean, I've been like a man who was living apart from his own soul. I knew there was an answer somewhere, but when I searched for it, my mind just wouldn't function. I think it was because of my condition that I finally discovered where the bell failed.
You found the reason?
The chain broke not at the weakest link, but at the strongest.
I don't understand.
The bell was designed with supports to take a stress 5 times greater than what we anticipated. We even thought of using booms on 2 different ships as an added safety factor. We overcame that with added couplings together with a pellet release system for balance. But in our extreme measures for added strength, we actually defeated our own purpose.
Until we stopped work here, the plans were to use 3 ships for support.
You don't need them. Depending on the overall weight descending, you must equalize the supports to parallel the point of water pressure above and below 2,000 feet.
You mean it's the pressure pushing upwards that causes stress?
Exactly. We went all out for strength and supporting the bell. When it reached the point of water pressure where there was no up and down factor, the couplings ripped off the seams.
Wyman, I know what a successful operation would mean to you, and I certainly want to help, but this has all come so fast. I don't know what to say.
Of course, I wouldn't ask you without offering something in exchange. I have a ship available that will take us to the Caribbean. It's fully equipped. The owner will do everything he can to assist.
I suppose if I didn't go along with you, it'd only be a matter of time before you'd raise some money and be building another bell of your own.
Just mean an unnecessary delay.
However, I'm afraid there's one thing I'll have to object to. You're going under. But if I If I know that young brother of yours, you'd jump at the chance. Let's go out to the lab and see him.
I've had to fill it 3 times already this morning.
I suppose that means I'm not doing my share of the work.
That's not at all what I meant. Anyway, we'll have some decent containers as soon as the men come back from the bell.
Well, I hope they bring my camera back with them. I could use it for one of the decorations.
Well, Craig said that they would only bring back the most important things. I'm sure your camera...
Craig said this. Craig said that. Craig said. What is he around here anyway? Some kind of monarch or something? He wouldn't take that old fool with him when he could use a couple of extra hands to help carry things.
I'm sure Craig knows what he's doing.
That's exactly what I mean. I'm fed up with his doing. Nobody's going to dominate me. I'll see to that.
Nobody's trying to.
If you think I'm going to put up with this routine, you're crazy.
Dale, there's nothing I can do to make you feel any better.
Oh, yes, there is. And you're going to start doing a few things my way.
Dale, I don't want to argue with you. Will you just leave me alone?
I'll leave you alone when I get good and ready to. And so will Craig when the time comes.
So that's it. You're not getting all the attention.
You're pretty smug, aren't you? Just because we're all trapped.
That's enough. And Dale, I don't want to discuss this again.
How many more trips is this going to take? This lung is nearly empty.
Well, there's just a few more things I'd like to get down there. You probably have enough air for one more dive. So let's make it count. Okay. Come on, I'll keep an eye on you.
It's 100 feet below me. Wait a minute. Unless I've lost my mind, I see 2 men in the water. I telephoned above as soon as I spotted the other bell, and they still can't believe it. How is Laurie and Miss Marshall?
The girl's been doing all right.
How long have you been out of air?
Only a few minutes.
I've got some coffee.
Good. There. He's coming around.
You much better than the others.
Well, that's just fine. I'm very glad you do.
I will help you.
And that's all I need.
We will kill them.
We will what?
It is easy, like I killed Maurice long time ago. And after we kill them, we can be alone here.
Now, you stay away from me. Stay away! Stay away from me!
Well, maybe I should kill you instead.
Stay away!
The volcano!
Give her a little slack.
I really can't explain the feeling when we first saw the bell. We'd given up hope, and, well, nothing ever looked so good. I do wish the old man had been as fortunate as we are. If Mr. Wyman's up there, tell him that Laurie is fine. She'll be saying hello in just a minute.
Laurie, I think from now on my whole life will be changed. I realize how terrible I've acted. Do you think you can ever forgive me?
Of course I can, Dale. I've always wanted our friendship.
Laurie. Well, little lady, you've got the scoop of the year.
Well, not this time, Jimmy. The story goes to all of you.
I want you to meet your benefactor, Mr. Matheny.
Matheny, we're very grateful. We have only Wyman to thank. All his idea.
Can't thank all of you enough.
Come on, you people, move back a little. Let's give them room to breathe.
Room to breathe. You know, I never thought about it much, but there's nothing greater.
Well, I don't know about you people, but man, I'm ready for a 2-inch steak. Let's come on!
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.